MOPOWERZ, where knowledge is key. How are you all doing on this day, which is another day of sadness, which is another day of injustice, which is another day of doom for America? That's right, America. You cannot fix this. The Department of Justice, you cannot fix this. Law enforcement, you most definitely cannot fix this. You all had the perfect opportunity to do something about it. In fact, you all have had centuries to do something about this, but you didn't. And you continue to brutalize. You continue to shoot and kill. You continue to racial profile. You continue to do whatever you want to do and when you want to do it to a black man here in America. Your day for that type of conduct is over. That day is over. The world see what you are. The whole world. You cannot fix this. There is no legislations. Nothing. There's no apologies. No. And to make this worse, the police are burning cars in LA. That's according to the news worldwide. Why would the police be burning cars so that the protesters can get blamed for it? Police are agitators. Police are agitators. You got police in New York City running over people in cars, and the governor says it has to be an investigation, and maybe that was their only way to get through the crowd. What, to run them over with your car? The world is watching. The world is on fire right now. Not only is the cities across America on fire, people in other countries are on fire because of the disgusting racial, white supremacy, behavior, and institution that is here in America and that is being executed upon black people. The world is on fire. You can't fix this. When you had black leaders who would come to you with the solution, what did you do? You killed them. You killed them. The only thing that white America understands is violence. And that is in the historical records. In fact, how did they take America? By violence. It wasn't even theirs. In fact, the UN, more white people telling the US that they need to give us our land back. Not only in America, but worldwide. The UN told white people, white rulers, they need to give black people their land back. In fact, you had black leaders who wanted complete separation. And you all did not want to give us those states so that we didn't have to be bothered with you, because obviously you don't like peace. You don't like peace, you like war. And as soon as someone brings war to your door, then it's a problem for you. Well, this is a problem that you have been waiting for, because you have continuously, consistently killed, brutalized black men and black women of America, terrorized them. And who is the biggest terrorist in America? The white man. The white man is the biggest terrorist in America. Just ask CNN. Just ask BBC. Just ask ABC. Just ask NBC. Just ask ABC. Just ask CBS. Who is the #1 terrorist in America? Ask the Sun-Times. Ask Chicago Tribune. Ask the Washington Post. Ask the New York Times. Ask the New York Post. Ask the Boston Globe. Ask the LA Times. Who is the #1 terrorizer here in America? The white man. Here it is. Young black men in Atlanta. They caught a couple. The police end up tasing them in their own car. And the mayor of Atlanta fired them. Okay, well, we want charges tomorrow. We want criminal charges tomorrow. You see? See, now you got these black people who are in charge of these so-called cities. Now, they have to do the master's bidding now, because that's the position that they wanted. They wanted to do that. Now look at where they're at against their own people, telling their people to calm down. It is not time to calm down. It is time to continue to turn up. Let this fucker burn. Burn it down to the ground. The police say that they serve and protect. Who do they serve and protect? Who do they serve and protect? White people. White people businesses. Black people can call the police for help and they go to jail and they get beat and brutalized and killed by the police unarmed. Unarmed. This is the time that we've been waiting for. This is the time that you have been waiting for. People getting shot in Detroit. People getting shot in Philadelphia. People getting shot in Chicago. But there's a retaliation because some of those police went to the hospital too. That's right. Now they're talking about shooting. President Trump gave law enforcement authorization to shoot you. He said where there's looting, there will be shooting. And no shit, as soon as the looting began, the shooting began. The shooting began. Not to mention those 7 people, protesters that got killed last week, in Kentucky. Over who? What's the sister's name? You know who I'm talking about. The sister that got murdered in her own house. The police came in. What's the sister's name? God, I can't even think about it now because I got 1,000 thoughts going through my mind right now. Can't get the sister's name. But you see, this just didn't happen about then with the sister. It just didn't start with George Floyd. No, it's been happening. You know, some of these YouTubers talking about where they've been killing black folks for years. They have been. Now it's our turn. Let's see if we can do something different than the past generation did. I've always wanted to know what the 60s was like. I'm getting an opportunity to see what the 60s were like. It's going up in smoke. The world is going to crucify you, America. The world is going to crucify you, America. In fact, all of these black leaders, these black mayors, like that black mayor that they got in St. Paul, like they got the black, some commissioner that's in Minnesota, have to look shit-faced to the people. Have to look shit-faced to the people. Authorizing terror upon their own people that is being killed by the people that they work for. Unfucking believable. Unbelievable. Also, they have this statute of limitations in Minnesota, whereas if you are brutalized, shot, or whatever, harassed by the police, you have a specific amount of time to report it. Really? Wow. When the police do something to you, they can threaten to kill you. They can threaten to kill your family member. They can threaten to kill anybody because they know where you live at. But you don't know where they live at. You don't know where they live at, but it's time for us to know where the fucking police live at. It's time for us to know where every law enforcement on the force is living at. That should be a public record. Because when they roll up on you, they know exactly where you stay at. They know who you are. And they know all about you just with a tap of a button. But you can't know where they stay at? I'm just saying. Crowds. Crowds. Yes, they're looting. You don't want them to start shooting. You want them to start shooting the police, don't you? And they should shoot the police because the police is killing us. In fact, you all are still shooting us. You're still shooting us. You're still running us over in the street like dogs and then trying to justify what you're doing. And for all of you black Trump supporters and for all of you black YouTubers talking about go Trump, we riding with Trump, look at you now. Look at you now. Huh? He just said to kill you. He just said to shoot you. He just said that he's going to let dogs off on you because he's wrong. Because he's wrong. If they wanted to fix this, they could have fixed that overnight, but they didn't. And the other 3 police officers still have not been charged. What's the problem? Oh, but you want some peace. You want some rest. There would be no peace. There will be no peace. The world has seen you for exactly who and what you are. The devil. The white man is the devil. Don't he run this country? Don't he impose laws? Doesn't he give you fake and chemical food? Does he not chemicalize your water? Does he not fuck up your air that you breathe? Got you inhaling things that's killing trees? Cutting people off of food stamps? Yes, people have done that. Presidents, Kennedy have done that. This just ain't been happening, but it's our turn now. This is our turn. You want us to respond with no violence? Speaking of violence, did you hear what the police chief of Minnesota said? He wants the protesters to stop this criminal activity. Huh? Are you serious? Criminal activity has been taking place by the police upon black people for years. Where's that criminality? Has that ever stopped? Obviously not, because we wouldn't be here today, would we, Mr. Police Chief? I mean, here it is. You have the governor, which is the president of the state of Minnesota, called for the arrest of the officer, and Minnesota police did not arrest him. The mayor called for the arrest of the officer, and the Minnesota police did not arrest him. It took some alphabet people, the BCA, Bureau of Criminal Apprehension, to arrest the man. Outrageous. And as I stated, the other 3 officers have not even been charged yet. You want us to stop doing what we're doing. It's not going to happen. Your time is up. Your time is up, Mr. White Man. Your time is up for an evil police force. In fact, you got police walking around with the protesters, taking off their utility belt and dropping off their CB radio. It's fake. It's fake. It's to disengage you. It's to make you feel at ease. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. They were not taking off their utility belts. They were not calling ambulances when they was killing you. You didn't have the partner of the police partner say, hey man, that's wrong. No, you didn't do none of that. Then you got these police officers that are black. How can you face yourself right now? How can you hurt and harm protesters that are black and have a justifiable cause? This cause has been brewing for years, for decades, and you all did nothing about it. How can you go home and face your son, face your daughter, face your wife after you didn't just bust this black guy head, you didn't just tear gas this woman, you didn't just shot this man over here with rubber bullets when they are out there because of people like you are killing them? What you gonna tell your family? Well, I mean, it should be rightfully so. Because you're a bitch. You're a bitch, y'all. Now the National Guards is coming. In every state, there's going to be National Guards that are uprising. And what? You have 25 cities and 16 states that is on curfew. I'm about to get in the streets in a little while. Yes, I'm about to get back in the streets. I was in the streets Tuesday night when it first jumped off in Minnesota. Hey, it is sad that it has to come to this. White people, you all can't fix this. They tell you to get rid of your guns, you keep your guns. Because white people got all of the guns. And once they disarm you, you have no way to defend yourself. You have no way to protect yourself. So you keep your guns. It's a shame that we have to live in a world like this when we provide the world with everything that they need. We provide the world with everything that they need. Not to mention the fact that everything has been taken from us. You want an answer to this, America? You want an answer to this, white America? A complete separation. For those white people and all other people who want to go, let's go. But they have to give up some of this land that they stole, that they raped people to get, hung people to get, innocent people who welcomed them in this land. And then they turned around and killed them and made you slaves, made me slaves. Then come up with legislation to keep us enslaved. But we are supposed to continue to like them. We are not supposed to not like these laws that are being imposed, or we are not supposed to not like, we are supposed to like the maltreatment that is given to us by these people. We are supposed to like that. In the minds of white people, black people are not to stand up for themselves. When a black man or a black woman stands up for themselves, it is called a confrontation versus just expressing him or herself just as a white person would. They call it confrontation. They call it aggression. But they be aggressive to you every day. When you're stopped here in America by police, that means death. I'm going to say that again. When you are a black man here living in America, when you are stopped by the police, that equals death. It equals death. If you think I'm lying, look at the numbers. Look at the video footage. Speaking of footage, cops are angry that cameras are on the phones. In fact, you had one cop take a phone from a protester, threw his phone to the side, and the protester rocked his ass like he should have. He rocked him so hard that he rolled under a fucking car, which was so funny. Yeah, that's funny. Because didn't nobody do a damn thing when they was killing George Floyd on the ground. In fact, they tried to cover it up so bad. I am so glad that there was cameras across the street so that we could see what was going on behind the other side of that vehicle. And you had two other officers pinning him down while the other one had his knee on his neck. And he's telling the man, I can't breathe. And according to the mayor of Mississippi, he said that if he couldn't breathe, he wouldn't even be speaking. Do you see the mindset that Black people here in America have to go through every single day of their life? Let me ask you something, white man. How would you like to wake up every day not knowing if you're going to come home when the police stops you? I don't care how young you are, because you all are taking us to jail right now at 6 years old. You're introducing us to jail. You're actually imposing fear upon people whom you have no more power of fear over. It's over for you. Your day of rule is over. It's over. And for those protesters who's burning those businesses, burn those cities down to the ground. Burn them down to the ground. And I'm not just talking about where you're walking to. Burn them down to the ground. I can't tell you how to do that. Just like Trump can't tell them how to shoot you. I'm just saying. This is the hate that white America has produced. Mind you, the mindset of the police officers is the mindset of white America today. In fact, according to statistics, 88% of white Americans don't even like Black people, despite the fact that despite the fact that Black people have never did anything to them except welcome them. And that's what we fucked up. We welcomed them versus killing their ass when we had the chance. Because that's exactly what they're doing to us. That's exactly what they've been doing for centuries. Not just last week, not just 2 weeks ago, not a year ago or a decade ago or 50 years ago, for centuries. And we've asked, we've begged, we've protested. Can you please be nicer to us? Can you please? Can we have a job with you? Can we work at your store? Can we eat at your restaurant? Can we use your toilet? Those days are over. You cannot fix this, and it will not stop. You cannot fix this. And for my people that's out there in the street, continue to burn. Continue to burn. Now, when they start shooting us in the street, like they already are, but it's going to get real messy. People asked me, Mo, why be strapped up? They're strapped up and they're killing you. Don't you see? When you're armed, they don't want to fuck with you. When you armed, they don't want to fuck with you. They fear you when you're armed. Disarming you while they're armed is a disadvantage to you. You have one life, and you mean to tell me that you're going to let somebody tell you who don't like you, your former slave master who continues to beat you in your head, who continues to kill you in the street, shoot you after he has handcuffed you? And you're going to ask me, why should you strap up? You're going to ask me, why? What you say, brother? We can't move forward with that mentality. We have to hope that one day things will change, and they will get better. We have to fight for what's right. Look, you know what? See, I don't know who this brother is, but he's got his name Cha Dojo. Okay, Cha Dojo, let me tell you something. That hope that you talking about, that shit could have been done years ago. Okay, so we don't want that. It can't be fixed. And as far as what you said, what better day? Who's going to make it a better day? Huh? Not white folks. Obviously not. And when I say white folks, let me get something straight. I want to say something to you. When I say white folks, I'm talking about white folks who run this country. Okay? If you are poor white, ain't nothing you can do for me. You're in the same boat that I'm in. Even though you get less time if you do the same crime. You still have your white privileges. Even if you're a bum or if you're a poor white person, you still have white privileges. We're not talking about you, poor white people. Okay? So if you poor and you poor white trash, we're not talking about you. Because you call us niggas, so we call you poor white trash. It's no signification there, is it? Is it? I'm just saying. You want to get this cop third-degree murder. What happened to the first-degree murder? Third-degree murder / manslaughter. What's that? What happened to the first-degree murder? Period. First-degree murder and manslaughter and whatever and whatever. He got 20 charges. He should have 20 charges. But see, you know what? If you are, and this is from a Christian family, because your Jesus ain't doing shit right now. A better day will come when the police force that's currently occupied force be done and over with, and have some new police. Have some new police. And for black people, keep the white police out your neighborhood. Keep the white police out your neighborhood. How do you do that? You know how to do that. You know how to do that. The same way that they stand on top of their buildings to shoot bullets at you, the same way that they stand on the top of their buildings to shoot tear gas at you, there's something that you can do. They're bringing the National Guard in all over the country. That makes their military force weak. Huh? That makes that military force weak because it is being divided. And that's exactly what they've done to us. But now today, it's a different day. And you can't fix it. He said, this is I'm reading the chat room. It says, I agree if you're born while you're born privileged and he should die in prison. No, he should not die in prison. He should not die in prison. No, he should let the people, that family, that man's family member, George Floyd, and all of those other victims, meaning all of these black people that are victim of white America, should kill the police, right? That's justice. And I'm not saying kill them illegally, turn them all over legally, seeing that you killed them illegally, so let us kill them illegally. Let's just, let's rock it like it is. But you don't want to do that, do you? Because you want to do what the Bible say, turn the other cheek. Hell, you don't do that to Jews. Jews don't turn the other cheek. Ain't no New Testament. Muslims don't believe in turning the other cheek. Okay, but you got the dumb black Christians talking about turn the other cheek. But these young people today, they ain't with that religion slave master teachings. They are not with that. Violence meets violence. You have some people say you put out fire with water. No, you put fire out with fire. Ask the white man who runs the country, when he go to war, does he not put war out fire with fire? This is what you did. white America, and you can't fix it. Now you have white people who can't even look at black people. Can't even look at them. And I'm not talking about the young white people that's out there with the black people. No, I'm talking about you older white people. And then you want to smile. Hey, how you doing? Ha ha. Because you're so afraid. You're so afraid now. You speak today and say hi, but you wasn't doing that a month ago. Now you want to get out in March. Now you want to say it's wrong. You wasn't saying anything while it was going on. So you're just as guilty. You're just as guilty. You're a Klansman in the closet. You're a Klanswoman in the closet. You are a Klanswoman and a Klansman in the closet. If you are Caucasian in this country and you say that you disagree with how law enforcement have been treating black people of America forever, and you're just saying something now about it, you are a Ku Klux Klan man and woman in a closet. What does brother say? We need to change the system so there's ain't no change in the system to protect cops from. We need to change the system so they stop protecting cops from justice. They should get what they deserve for murdering innocent and beautiful people. We need somebody in power who cares enough. Trump ain't it. Joe Biden ain't it. And that Amy Kubler-Char chick, that is supposed to be the running mate of Joe Biden. I want to give you all some information on her. This lady has a notorious record. She was the DA for Minnesota, but now she's a senator. But while she was a DA in Minnesota, all of those cases of cops shooting black people and killing them, none of those cops got persecuted. She did not persecute one of them. Y'all remember that? You remember that? Keep this place burning. Burn it down to the ground. They only understand violence. They only understand violence. It's more gangbangers than there are police. It's more protesters than there are police. There are more people who are on this and standing with black people than there are National Guardsmen. Remember when they bought the National Guards out in the 60s? Here we go again. What does brother say? Everybody in power now is rich and white and sucks. At least now people are rioting and speaking up for once. This has been a long time coming. Black people have asked, begged, marched, pleaded. America says no. The world is on fire because of your devilish behavior. The world is on fire for your devilish behavior. There's no fixing this, and your time is up. Your time is up. You're talking about China? Trump going to war with China? He can't go to war with China. It's all fake news, as he would say. How can you go to war with somebody when they got land here? Own banks here. Pretty soon they're going to be having police stations here. Chinese police stations. The world is on fire at you, America. All of this could have been avoided if you had just given us 2 states. It's rightfully ours, and you stole it, and now you're killing us. That is the only solution that's going to resolve this problem. That's the only way you're going to fix it. as long as you try to continue to coexist in this white supremacy institution, you won't be able to fix it. Because white supremacy is based upon white dominance, which requires violence. That's all that they understand is violence. You black cops, how about going to kill some white people? How about going to pull over some white motorists and killing them, black policemen? How about that? Would you like that, America? Would you like that, my bougie white folks? Would you like that? Would you like that, the Ku Klux Klan man and woman in the closet? Would you like that? Because it's going to happen. Maybe not with the police that's going to kill the white motorist. Did you see what happened with Rodney King? What happened with those motorists? They didn't have anything to do with it, did they? But this is what you did, man. This is your own evil that's coming to hunt you now. Your own evil. What you say? We need another MLK Jr. Are you serious? We do not need another Martin Luther King Jr. He sold black people down the river with this integration bullshit. Are you serious? In fact, black people was doing absolutely fine without white people. We were doing absolutely fine without you. Your history has only been here 6,000 years. We've been here forever. In fact, we taught you how to cook. We taught you math. We taught you science. Don't argue with me, man. That's not even debatable, okay? That's not even debatable. Where your white friends at now? I'm not talking about those protesters that's out on the street. I'm talking about your white co-workers. Miss, I want to be black corporate. You black, but you want to be white corporate. Where your white friends at now? This is not over and you can't fix it. You want to fix it? Give us some of our shit back. Meaning, give us some of our land back. Because we don't want to be with you. We do not want to be with you. Would you like to live in a country that kills you every day? Would you like to live with somebody like that? Would you like to live with somebody that kills you, man? Every day. And you, being black, is the #1 target in America. Black man, black woman is targeted in America. That's actual facts. That's not something I'm pulling out the air. That's actual facts. What you say? Oh, forget he said Martin Luther King. No, people be against violent protests and support the military. Support the military? Okay. Are you a soldier? If you're a military soldier, you're in the National Guard, and they tell you to shoot the protesters, and that could be your cousin. Are you going to shoot your cousin? And your cousin is right? Are you going to shoot your brother because your brother is right? Are you going to shoot your sister because your sister is right? Or are you going to shoot because that white man told you to shoot? Even though you know he's wrong. And like I said, when I say white, I'm talking about those white people in power. If the shoe don't fit, don't wear it. Fuck it. If you don't like what I say and you white, I'm just saying. Real talk. It's sad. It's sad. Now it's black people versus law enforcement. Now it's black people versus law enforcement. The KKK law enforcement. Let's get that straight. We're not talking about law enforcement who follows the law. We're not talking, you can't be a law enforcer and you don't follow the law. Huh? So you're really not a law enforcer. You're a Klansman. You're just not wearing your fucking hoods. You're wearing a uniform, a badge, and a gun. So you're breaking the law, but you a law enforcer. I'm saying that the only way things get solved, is by, in order for the government to kill, we need riots, we need people scream. Look, I don't know who this guy is, okay? He probably don't even have a face on his, he don't even have a face on his profile. He can be the feds right now. And more than likely, he probably is. I don't know, and I really don't care. The feds already know who I am. Trust me. The feds already know who I am. How you doing, feds? And anybody that know me, they know that the feds know me. How you doing, feds? It's real talk. So I don't know who this character is in this room. Okay, but I appreciate the chat, because normally nobody's in the chat room. They disable my chat. They disable my chat. Hassan Campbell, you said that this was a hit. How do you know it was a hit? In fact, it turned out that this man, George Floyd, and the devil cop worked at the same place for a year at a club, a nightclub or something. One worked during the weekdays, George Floyd. The devil cop worked on the weekend nights. So sometime during that year, they would have ran into each other. And if you're a police, you want to know everybody that's on security anyway, or that's working where you're working at, right? These people knew each other. And they told us this. The lady, the owner of the club, came out and said this. Some people say it's staged. No, this is not staged. Yes, this was an act that could have incited violence, but that's what they want. That's what they want. But we want it too. You know why? You know why we want violence, man? Against you motherfuckers? Because you all have perpetrated violence on us forever. That was a broad daylight execution, man. And where's the other cops at? They still running free. You want you want some justice? So remember now, there's going to be a price for this. It's going to be a price for everything that we're doing. Don't stop. Don't stop. If you got to die, die on your feet like a man. If not, you're going to die like some of these cats wearing skirts and dresses. Die like a man. If you don't stand up for your child, your mother, your grandmother, your wife, stand up for yourself. If you don't do either one of those, who cares about you anyway? Like I said, they smell pussy. That's why they do what they do. They smell pussy. Now, those days are over. Those days are over. So now, when the police comes to your car and he pulls you over and you strap, do you start to shooting immediately? Because he just may start shooting immediately, just like they killed that young brother in Minnesota in his car. I'm not talking about George Floyd. I'm talking about the other brother. It's so many brothers. But y'all know the case that took place about 2 years ago when the cop just unloaded him. The brother was unarmed, sitting there in his car. His girl is screaming. I know y'all remember that. I know you remember that, white America. I know you remember that Department of Justice and law enforcement. I know you remember that. Your day, Rue, is over. And that's all that I pretty much have to say about that. But it's going to get worse. And there's no legislation. There's no curfew. There's no National Guard. There's nothing that you can do to fix this. You fucked up. Now the world is watching you. Remember, it is your third eye that makes you shine like jewelry. This is MOPOWERZ, where knowledge is key.